It's your boy Gunnar in the house, back with another Arsenal news episode. Well, ladies and gentlemen, something really astonishing coming your way tonight. Why am I laughing? There's no situation to laugh, but still, stay tuned for a very important content coming up. Of course, talking about the FIFA content. Maybe if I have time today, I might be starting it. But if I can't, then please don't feel bad about it. Also, we're going to talk about something really special in terms of what we have in store for you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, post-match interview of Unai Emery, who doesn't believe that Arsenal should have been awarded a penalty. He believes that was not a penalty. Everything will be discussed in this episode, so let's just jump into it. So, Nicolo Pepe says, we believe we have the quality and we had a chance at the end to make it 2-2. We are going to have to give our all at home and we are ready to do that. This competition is the most important for us. And Sami Mokbal actually tweeted out that Aubameyang was not back up to 100% both health and fitness wise, though he's ready to make himself available if called upon by Arteta, and there is a belief that his natural fitness levels will get him through however much time he is required for. Anyways, that was not the idea. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Martin Keown has attacked Mikel Arteta on why Gabriel Martinelli isn't playing anymore. He did not mince his words. He literally went on and ripped apart Mikel Arteta. He says, because the manager does not like Martinelli, it's as simple as that. When he came into the team, I thought he did a great job. Not only was he making runs down the middle, but he was coming back. He was like a Duracell battery. Keep him in the team. Play him. You've seen what you've done with Smith Rowe and Saka. Support him. That's what Martin Keown said to BT Sport after the game yesterday, and he's not wrong. He says, I'm not there every day. I'm not on the training ground. I thought it was very interesting. Odegaard had gone internationally and said, this is the best young player I've ever seen. So now it's time to let him fly. Let's look at the positives. Let's support him. When he came into the team, I thought he did a great job. That's pretty much clear message that Martin Keown wants to send, and it's actually quite it's literal chills if you hear that. So also about Unai Emery has some words. He says Unai Emery has got to say about the game yesterday. He's not happy about it. He says, it's true that the penalty wasn't a penalty and that hurt us a lot. It's a very important refereeing error, and also with VAR you can see it. We have to go there and score a goal now then. Anyways, let's talk about the one, the only wait, not Dani, Ceballos. Where's Martin Keown? God damn it. Okay, here we go. So finally we got something to prove here, but let's go talk about it later on. So ladies and gentlemen, so Arteta opened up AS say that Dani Ceballos' dream has always been to succeed at Real Madrid, but he is aware that with Zidane as coach, that is very difficult. If he leaves Real Madrid, he wants to join another Spanish club. Could be Atletico and Betis. They could be the two options, but doesn't want to be a part of Arsenal anymore. I won't react to it because I have a reaction upcoming. Don't worry. Moving on, so Lindbergh has spoken about Martinelli. He says, I thought Martinelli was amazing. When he came on, the energy he gives, he runs everywhere. He's really awkward to play against. And talking about Saka, Arteta has some words. He says, we were very used to him saving us this season as well. That tells us that we need to do much more in other areas. We cannot rely on all the time on him. We needed a moment of magic and he produced it again. Arteta on Dani Ceballos being sent off for that error. He says, obviously we talked at halftime that you have to be careful. I was going to take him off, but by the time Gabriel Martinelli was ready to come on, that action happened and he was out. So Dani Ceballos. Talking about Pepe's goal, Arteta says Pepe's goal gives us belief that if we do the right things and we play at our level, we can beat them. Even with 10 men, I think we were the better team. We had the better chance at the end with Oba to make it 2-2, but we are in the tie. Saka says about the game, it's pretty much a verse that he has. He says, it's a semi-final of the Europa League. So to start the game like this, it was impossible to have a chance of scoring. We didn't create anything. We lost every duel. We were passive. It's really frustrating to look back on it. I'm just happy that in the second half we picked ourselves and got a good chance and managed to score. We've given ourselves a chance at the Emirates Stadium. And Saka was asked if he thinks Arsenal can get into the finals. He says yes, 100%. We definitely showed we're better than them. Even with 10 men, we were dominating them. It's up to us. It's always up to us. We have a team full of quality players, and when we play properly, we can beat anyone. That's what Saka thinks. That's what I believe everyone goddamn player should think. Oh wow. Arteta on the defeat says, we didn't want to come here and lose, but after the way the game developed, you have to take the result. If you have to lose, it is probably the best result we could have. Bernd Leno saving Arsenal the blushes. And also, Freddie Ljungberg has opened up about Daniel Ek. He says, Ek is a massive Arsenal fan. I was with the youth at Arsenal. I was asked by Spotify if I could have a chat with their leaders. He's definitely a massive, massive Arsenal fan. Big things coming up. But let's see. Also, Nicola Pepe has now been directly involved in 10 goals, 6 goals and 4 assists in the Europa League this season, more than any other player in the competition. It is, as it stands, a wonderful thing to experience. But moving on, let's talk about the reality of the game. Well, we're going to talk about Kieran Maguire, very surprised amid a £10 billion Usmanov Arsenal takeover reveal. So, according to financial expert and Football Insider columnist Kieran Maguire speaks exclusively about Daniel Ek readying a takeover bid. So, how can he do it? Well, Ek, who is like 3.4 billion worth. So Usmanov, Alisher Usmanov, meanwhile, who was formerly involved with Arsenal between 2007 and 2018, is worth 13.3 billion pounds, which is 10.1 billion pounds more than Ek. Arsenal fan Ek announced his ambition to purchase a controlling stake in the club via Twitter, but Maguire claimed an Ek takeover is unlikely, given that Usmanov's failure, while he also blasted Ek for choosing to pursue a deal through social media. He says, I would be very surprised. Talking to Adam Williams, the Kieran Maguire says, Alisher Usmanov wanted to acquire a greater influence in Arsenal, and he's worth a lot more money than Ek. Usmanov also owned 30% of Arsenal because he'd bought Moshiri's shares and he'd bought other shareholding himself. He couldn't even get a seat on the board. That shows that Kroenke is A, worth a lot of more money than Ek, B, very stubborn. Also, if you're involved in a takeover, I'm not convinced that Twitter is the best vehicle to conduct negotiations. Well, that is reality. That's true. That is true that you got to believe in as well. So here's the scathing attack on Arsenal's performance yesterday night. Martin Keown was furious with Arsenal's performance in the 2-1 defeat by Villarreal. He's claimed that Unai Emery was actually embarrassing Mikel Arteta for large parts of the semi-final tie first leg. Now Gunners managed to keep their hopes alive with a penalty through Nicola Pepe's goal and of course Saka winning that penalty. And here are the things that Martin Keown had to say on BD Sport after the game. He said, it was an absolutely mad game. I thought the writing was on the wall for Arteta. The risk he took not playing with a striker, it looked in disarray. Arsenal got away with one tonight. Bernd Leno makes a couple of saves when Villarreal should be out of sight. Dani Ceballos has made a catalogue of mistakes in the Europa League. He looked out of his depth tonight. There was a huge hole in the midfield which Emery exploited. It looked like the former manager was embarrassing the current boss, which must have been embarrassing for Arsenal's owners. The consistency has not been there. Arsenal have to turn up for the home leg or bad things will happen. Now, but despite Arsenal needing to overturn the deficit to reach next month's final in Gdansk, Keown believes Arteta's men have the capacity to come back and progress. He says, Arsenal are still in the tie, but could have been out. It was how it's been all season. Really turbulent as an Arsenal fan. Is he the right manager? He has one foot in the door to the final and has the players to make the difference next week. It was a huge risk not to play with the centre forward. When you listen to Arteta, it links to philosophy. Tactics are going to be so important next week. Maybe they'll do something on the break next week. If the Arsenal had turned up in the second leg against Sparta Prague, Slavia Prague, how did he say Sparta? Okay, turns up, then I'm confident. If anyone can, Arsenal can, but Arteta has to play the correct 11. You have to learn fast or you don't survive. So talking about the only transfer news we have here, ex-Arsenal target, or rather current Arsenal target, Nicolo Rosano is being wanted by Manchester United, and Roma had plenty to discuss after Red Devils pulled the Romans pants down at Old Trafford last night. Well, La Repubblica states that the two clubs are exploring a swap deal involving a couple of stars. So, Nicolo Zaniolo's case is the one who's being involved, but they're offering Donny van de Beek to Roma to get Nicolo Zaniolo. Can Arsenal get to Nicolo Zaniolo? I want Nicolo, but injury prone is the problem. But yes, he's a very exciting talent. Linked to Arsenal previously, hence the news is here. So with this, we end this episode. A very good roast of the week is coming up for you guys, so stay tuned for that. I will see you in the next one. Until then, cheers, bye bye.